I just want to show you guys what I do with my yarn that I'm trying to, when I change colors and change rows and change stitches, you always end up with trouble. So as you're doing third loop stitches, you have to join the rows and you always end up with a messy look. So the easiest way for me that I have found to do that, I'm going to spin my head here. Instead of ending one of the things I dislike is when I change colors from row to row. So every time I use a yarn that changes colors randomly, I'm usually cutting my yarn and starting over again on my colors with my new rows. So what I started to do is, instead of cutting my colors and starting a new row, I just jump from when I get to the end of my row. So this one I'm using half double crochet in the third loop. So instead of ending my color, it would change colors at the end, and I would have to join that, so I'd have a big jump and a big skip. So what I found works for me, instead of doing that, is when I get to my end of my row of third loop, then I jump right to my puff stitch. And I don't join my row and start a new row. I just kind of jump into the next one. There's always going to be some kind of look that's not right. But people who crochet will see this. But for me, I'm happier with this versus stopping, joining, and then the color jumps right up. So I'm happier changing the end of my row. How should I explain it? The end of my row, if I joined this and then started a new row, I would be starting with my pink on the top of this. So I end up getting the colors the same, but my stitches change. And I think for me, I'm happier with that versus having my row end, and then I jump up a new color. So if you can see what I did with each row, I did a third loop here, and then I went to my puff stitch and I just went right to it. I didn't join, and then the next row up I did a half double crochet, and then I just stopped my half double crochet, and then I did my third loop. The next row I did let me think what I did here. The next row I did a third loop also, and I just jumped right up to the third loop. And then the next row after my third loop, I'm going back into my puff stitch, so I just jump right into my puff stitch again. You can see, obviously, to a crocheter, you can see that. You can see the change. But versus color changes and jumping color changes, it just makes more sense to me to do it this way. So when you look at the hat, you can see it right here a little bit more on my ending rows, but you really can't see the jumping of colors when you do it this way. So I just thought I'd share that. That's something that I've been doing, and it's been working out for me.